What uh, kind of cheese doesn't belong to you?
What kind of cheese?
Nacho cheese. It might be my worst one. It might absolutely be my worst one.
Smash it.
Here at the glass table, we're just like
I
you.
like to play football, I like to watch football, and I like to talk about football.
Yay! I like to play football and I like to watch football and I like to talk about football.
But we do things a little bit differently around here.
Life could be a dream, Jared.
Stupid sexy.
Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 85 of the Glass Table. We're back after a week off. We've had our bye.
Our bye's done, and now we're all good.
Welcome back, Jared.
Thank you very much for having me. It is lovely to be here. Like you said, a week off. Beautiful to be back on this Monday evening that we record on. I was about to say it's a beautiful day. It's not a beautiful day. It's been a horrendous day.
Miserable.
Miserable day here in Melbourne. But that's okay because now it's all good because I'm on the call and recording with you. And how are you going?
It's very adorable. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going well. It's been a minute. It feels like it's been a hot minute since we recorded, but also we hung out for 6 days last week. So it's very weird how time sort of flies, but we're back in the groove of things. Obviously, back working, back playing footy, back winning. That's pretty good.
Life is pretty good. I mean, speak for yourself on the winning front in terms of the pair.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, well, the pair's a bonus. Boss is winning. You won your local footy too.
We did. We did, but that also was the night after I witnessed a very embarrassing loss at Marvel Stadium. So
Yeah.
you win some, you lose more, and that's okay.
That is the slogan for the Saints membership. You win some, you lose more. Imagine selling that on a t-shirt.
You win some, but you lose more. But that sum, let me tell you how good that sum is.
That sums in Alice.
You win in Alice. You beat Port in Adelaide. You beat the Cats under the lid. And that's all.
Oh, it's phenomenal stuff.
Fantastic.
Sell that to them when you go back to work tomorrow. Just put that on the table in front of the membership crew.
You pay me for this later.
But no, it's yeah. Look, we're winning locally. We're winning being here, and that's always a win. You know, I think the beauty of it, the fact is that we come into Mondays and we can't be hungover.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a win. I mean, you say we can't be hungover. You've done your best. You've done your best to have a 2-day hangover.
All right,
For context, everyone, I brought a beer onto screen before and said, I'm having a beer, so cheers. And it like audibly went, oh. So I think he's as close to hungover as you could be without actually being hungover.
I am 36 hours sober.
It's still not enough.
For context, again, to add to that, I had 0.0 hours sleep on Saturday night. Went straight into work, regretfully. Did my thing. Ended up straight at the Adelaide Oval 10 minutes later after finishing my shift. Witnessed a good win, thank God.
Yep.
And right across the day. It's quite ironic we played the Demons.
Because you were fucking fighting them, let me tell you.
Let me tell you. I almost brought Jared into the dark side. That's how bad we were going yesterday. But we got there, and now we're here. And we start a new week fresh, feeling good and stupid sexy.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Really, really, really good.
But Yeah. I have a boner to pick with you.
Stupid sexy.
Game well played.
So, stupid sexy. I feel like I want to kick this off.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I've had this idea in my mind since about 7:10 this morning when I parked my car in the car park and went to get a coffee.
Yep.
As any more normal adult. So my stupid sexy this week. Now, a bit of a not a statistical factor to it, but it's the story of the weekend, I think. Everyone's talking about the roof in Tassie and how shit it was Friday night and this and that, all that crap. How about them young forwards, eh? Mitch Georgiades, Sam Darcy, Aaron Cadman, just to name a few. Mitch Georgiades in particular is my stupid sexy. 7 goals, a feat that no Port Adelaide player has done in a decade, which is funny to me considering we've had Dixon and the likes, Robbie Gray in that time as well.
Yeah.
So Mitch Georgiades doing his thing, could have had 9, 10, 11 if he kicked straight. So it was a fantastic performance. It was a coming-of-age moment. You tweeted, I think after his second goal was his legacy game. And
it fucking worked.
it went absolutely mental. And he was phenomenal. And I thought, his lead-up work is one of the best in the comp, I think. Considering he's come off an ACL as well. Like, it's superb to see. He's top 5 in the Coleman. He's been so impressive, I think, even throughout. His goal kicking, he's kicked 32-22 for the year. So he very much could have 35, 40 goals and be right in the conversation. Probably ease up on the All-Australian conversation type thing.
A little bit too much, but yeah.
But I'll take the 7 goals is big game. And he was just absolutely amazing. And he beat one of the best defenders in the comp in Stephen May.
Stephen May is having a really tough couple of weeks.
It's amazing how you point at your captain and you go, you just cost us the game, and then follows up the next week and goes, hey, you know what? The 23-year-old that's playing on me is going to have a legacy game.
He's having a really tough couple of weeks.
There was a moment where Darcy Byrne-Jones kicked a goal in the last quarter, put Port Adelaide 3 goals up, and he's just going, I'm not going to bother this, but I'll tackle you after the goal and put my forearm in your throat and say, nearly got you.
You nearly, though, but not quite.
I think it was a targeting thing for Port Adelaide to get under the skin of Stephen May.
Hmm.
Boy, did it work.
It worked. It absolutely worked. No, you're dead right. Both about Stephen May and Georgiades. The thing you mentioned about those 3 as well, in Georgiades, Cadman, Darcy, all had great games, obviously. All 3 of them, and in particular Georgiades, and like you mentioned, his lead-up ability and, work off an ACL, all 3 of them are very much, you can see him winning a mark of the year at some point.
And Georgiades has.
I was about to say, but especially Georgiades again, because I remember in that Port Saints game early in the year, he took one of the great almost marks in the history of the game. And I was like, holy fuck, that guy is good. All 3 of them are well within their rights to win a fucking mark of the year. Cadman took an absolute screamer on the weekend as well. So, yeah, very good to see like those young key forwards doing a lot. And, you mentioned Georgiades like goal scoring. He's not the most accurate at goal, but the thing I will give Georgiades credit for is his set shot looks beautiful. Technically speaking, I think I've said this. I think I tweeted this a while ago. Mitch Georgiades' set shot is one of the most beautiful looking things I have ever seen. It is just so textbook. I love it, but he misses a lot of the time, and that sucks.
It's right up until he kicks it.
Once the ball actually leaves his foot, you're like, oh no. But everything leading up to that, oh man, you're beautiful.
His ACL might have affected that a little bit in his mind. But yeah, you want to get technical about his set shot. Notice something interesting. He always waits the 5-second warning. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it's either just like, are you rushing yourself after waiting to that? Are you taking your full moment? Maybe thinking about it too much. But I can't really question that. He kicked 7 goals 4.
It's still good. Still 7 goals, and that's all that matters.
He kicked half a Port's score. He nearly scored as much as the D's. Anyway, Georgiades, stupid sexy this week, and who's yours?
Mine, I'm going to keep this nice and traditional in terms of I like to think that like
stick with the men.
No, it's not that. I'm talking traditional as in we both are always talking here about things we would do to change the game, things we would do to bring things back, blah, blah, blah. But also there's a bit of nostalgia and a bit of just tradition in our hearts, I think. And for me, I don't want to sound like an absolute old boomer, and I read a lot of these comments and I sound like one of them right now. But I just love it when a team playing away wears white shorts with a bit of white in their kit, just They don't fuck around with too many other colours. It's white shorts, right? And the Giants on the weekend, they wore the white shorts. And I think it's also because they got the orange jumper with the white G as well. Something about it, I was like, you look good. And I like it when a team wears white shorts because it just, I don't know, traditional away vibes. You'd think back, we were talking about AFL video games the other week. You go think back to AFL Premiership, and when it was home and away, it was home and then away, and they always had the white shorts. You couldn't put the away jumper on with the black shorts or whatever color shorts. It was white shorts. Call me a traditionalist, call me a boomer, I don't care. White shorts for the win.
All right. I, as a player and local footy as well, I actually probably enjoy wearing the white shorts.
Yep.
A little bit. You also look a little bit bigger. I think you just
I think it
stand
does
out a bit more.
It does something
Yeah.
for the quads, I think. Yeah. No, you're right.
As long as you're tanned.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan. And like this is also a very like you need to be a very specific team for this, but when a team or a player has white shorts, white socks, white boots, Jesus Christ. Oh God. Oh, it's special, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So,
no, I know what you're talking about.
Call me a traditionalist. I like when teams wear white shorts when they're playing away because it just looks good, looks nice on TV, especially when the other team's wearing the dark coloured shorts. Just, all about it.
You said that to me on Monday last week too, and we watched the Pies live. You just love that.
I love that. I love that away jumper so much. It's such a good one. It's so classic, and I don't know what it is. I'm all about it.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's stupid sexy after a very interesting round 14. We have 10 rounds to go.
Better than round 13, and that's
tell you what, very questionable after the first two games. Let me run it through for you very, very quickly. We started off Thursday night with the Dogs dismantling the Saints. We then went to Tassie and watched whatever that was. That was, you know what that was? The Crows Hawks was very much a top 8 version of Cairns.
That is what happens if you go to Cairns with teams that actually know how to play football.
This time, it wasn't at the top of the country. It was at the bottom.
Right down the bottom.
Yeah. 3-point win to the Hawks. Big win, that, because they didn't look like they were going to win at all until about 5 minutes to go, thanks to John Newcomb. We head to the Gabba on Saturday at Arvo. The Giants kick straight, win games. Simple as that.
Fantastic game of footy, this one. That was a highlight of the week. I was saying before, I didn't watch a lot of footy this week. I watched a fair bit, but that was easily my favorite game by a long way. It was fantastic.
I bet it was. I think, it just looked pleasing on the eye for footy. We then went to the G and watched the Cats play training. It was nice of Essendon's VFL side to rock up and play cones. I think, what are they called? This the country game?
The country game, yep.
Yeah, deport Essendon. North Melbourne, Freo in Perth at Optus Stadium, North Melbourne home game. Very funny because Jack Tarling playing a home game against Freo again in Perth. Very interesting.
Yep.
Good comeback by North. Almost completed the double of defeating both the Eagles and the Dockers, but they couldn't get the job done. And Freo have 4 on the trot now, which is very exciting for them. We had the Sunday at the Adelaide Oval, which was the most beautiful looking game, I think, of the round, to be honest. And that's all biasness. But that was a fun game of footy to watch.
Yeah, it was fun.
A fun Sunday Arvo game. And that's what we like. We love a Sunday 250. You might be a bit hungover, or me, go all the way. And then enjoy. And then, nobody watched this game.
I was about to say, try and find anybody that watched this full game. You won't be able to. I think even Carlton and West Coast fans and Carlton players, judging by what happened, considering they kicked 10 goals in the first half and 2 in the second half, they decided they didn't.
I would have gone home too.
Yeah, they didn't want to be there anymore anyway. So no one watched it.
The highlight of the round, though, and I talked about this in my Stupid Sexy, and I wanted to raise this and extend that talk because it's not only the young key forwards that are exciting, as I said, Aaron Cadman, Mitch Georgiades, Sam Darcy, Riley Thilthorpe. These players are exciting to watch week in, week out. You never know what they're going to do, type of thing. And on the weekend, we saw Mitch Georgiades play his legacy game. We saw Aaron Cadman come alive for the first time in his career, which was phenomenal. Sam Darcy comes back from injury and absolutely puts shit in the pants of all Saints players and clunks absolutely everything.
Could not drop one.
But then we see the old boys join in. Jesse Hogan, Jeremy Cameron, these players, they know how to kick bags of goals. So what I'm saying is the big bags are back. If you're Colombian, don't listen to this. But but like a mix of the old kicking goals, Jesse Cameron, Jesse Hogan, and the young in Georgiades and Sam Darcy and Aaron Cadman. You know, these players, and every team has an exciting forward or upcoming forward that you rest hopes on. You know, you always figure that when you're waiting for that game. And it's just great to see big key forwards kicking goals, and it's not just the same person. It's the spread, and that's what I enjoyed about footy on the weekend, because it was able to highlight that key forwards on their day are unstoppable.
I think one of my favourite things in footy is like big key forwards doing big key forward things. And even though, like you said, Sam Darcy was against St Kilda, I still had, and like I didn't love watching a lot of that game, but whenever Sam Darcy got near the ball, I was like, man, that's so good to watch, because you just know he's going to be doing it for 15 years. And I think peak footy for me is like 2008. And 2008 is the year where Lance Franklin, Fev, all these guys are rolling around kicking fucking bags day after day after day. And it's so entertaining to watch, because when it gets to, I think it probably once it gets past 5, anything 6 and beyond, the crowd starts getting really involved. And like Carlton fans are really good at this as well. When Charlie's getting on a roll, the energy of the crowd just starts fucking, like, you can feel the electricity in everywhere. Obviously, Hawks fans have been doing it for years with Buddy. Like, you know, these things happen. And footy is my favorite when the big key forwards look like they're going to mark everything and look like they're going to kick everything. When Hogan kicked his 6th, I think, or no, maybe his 5th in third quarter, he started like a set shot, and then I was like, fuck, he's so going to kick this. And sure enough, just wheeled out, kicked this beautiful snap. And it's like, you just know, like, you just know it's going to happen.
When they're on, they're on.
When they're on, they're on. And I absolutely agree with you. When a key forward is on, and like, I understand, you know, you got to, like, teams have found ways over the past few years to null that, you know, that impact on games. There's nothing better than a big key forward just going fucking off. And no matter what age they are, having fun. I also love obscure ones. We've spoken about this many times on this podcast, but obscure bags is fantastic.
Leads perfectly into, we always love a bit of Coleman medal watch on this podcast. And, you know, everyone talks about, oh, who's going to win the Brownlow and who's the rising star? No, we're about the goals.
Coleman.
So really the top 5. It's a bit of a clear breakaway now. We're starting to see that in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And you've got Jeremy Cameron, you've got Jesse Hogan. Cameron's so far ahead, 44.
How does he do this every time? See what I'm saying? I've said this before. He gets to a point of the year where you forget about him, and then he kicks 6 like 3 weeks in a row, and all of a sudden he's winning the comp. Happens every time.
It's this part of the year. It's the buys. He just kicks goals and buys.
Ridiculous.
The amount of times I reckon he's kicked goals in junk time too, but I won't bring that up because you got to kick him. So fair play. Hogan's on 38. Jamie Elliott obviously had the bye on the weekend. He's got 34. Ben King's slowed off a little bit, 33. And now into the top 5. Mitch Georgiades.
Snuck his way in there.
Mitch Georgiades versus Jack Higgins is not a conversation I was prepared to have until right now, Jared Thomas. Now, if it comes down to it, and you have 3 forwards to pick, and it's Jeremy Cameron and Jesse Hogan locking it in, and you've got to pick between Georgiades and Higgins. All I'll say is enjoy the squad jacket, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
sorry.
I feel like you wouldn't put Georgiades in.
You got to put Georgiades in.
Yeah, of course. But no, I like this top 5. This top 5, I remember, like, you know, sort of maybe 5 weeks ago, we're looking at the top 10. Like, this is a weird top 10. Starting to look a little bit more normal now. Having Elliott in thirds, like, oh, that's a bit interesting. Like, he's getting older. It's interesting. He's there. Ben King, you'd expect to be in there. Georgiades is pretty interesting. Higgins is pretty interesting. And then goes back to pretty regularly scheduled programming after that. Phil Thorpe, Gunston, Fogarty, Larkey, Kerno. Just bang, 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 bang. Just the big boys coming out.
Just they are one bag of 6 away from going, hey, we're still here too.
Exactly. Literally. Like Charlie Kerno, I mean, he's injured kind of, but like, you know, I'm pretty sure they play North this week. He could kick 10 and all of a sudden he's fucking third. And you're like, all right, cool.
What a game that's going to be.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh. I might actually watch that one. But it's good seeing I know we talked about, the other year we were talking, I think last week we talked about the fact that we've had, a year where we had two players kick 80 goals and it was exciting. But I think it's the grind of this year where we have seen bags of goals and we haven't seen, there's still 10 weeks to go. And it's like 12-goal lead from Cameron to Georgiades. It might actually be that much.
Exactly. And all it takes is one injury. All it takes is, like you said, it also depends on your opponents. Like Charlie Curnow, not saying he wasn't going to win the Coleman that year, but he sewed it up when he had West Coast and North. We had West Coast twice and he had North twice, and he went 10-9 against West Coast and everything like that. So
I think he kicked 6 on as well against North.
Like it obviously depends on your opponent, depends on, how the form you're in. Obviously, Jeremy Cameron, as we know, loves this time of year because he just goes to GMHBA and kicks fucking bags. But it's very interesting. And this just proves to me that anyone can sneak up. Anyone that's like higher than like 25 goals, it's like, yeah, they can probably kick a few and get in close. And yeah, I love it when it's a bit of a scrap. So, there's still very, very good chances and some very good key forwards. And I think that the top three really show that it's like the young boys can do a bit, but we've still got it. We've still got it, don't we? The Jezza and Jesse and Jamie, the three J's. How about that? They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I like that. I think we'll be seeing King, Georgiades, Cameron, Phil Thorpe, and those likes in that top 5 to 10 for a few years now, which is really, really good.
Absolutely.
And it's just, to tie it all together, this whole conversation, it's exciting to know. We've talked about, number one draft picks, some big name players coming through the draft and everything. Give it a few years. These players will have their moment.
Yep.
And now I'm sitting here, I'm going, Ben King, Georgiades, Phil Thorpe. We're entering the new era. We're entering that next era of key forwards while you still have the Camerons, the Hogans, the Kernos still. Jack Gunston's there and he's like 67. So
it all works out in the end. This is why fans should never be quick to dismiss a key forward after 2 years, because as long as the AFL has ever been a thing, it takes key forwards a long time to build into who they are. Gary Ablett Sr. played for Hawthorn first and did nothing. It takes a little while. Players need time to build into. Some don't. They're very rare cases. Sam Darcy is the case that I'm talking about, but he's also a fucking freak. So there's a lot of players where they take time. Just relax. Everything's going to be okay. Let them build into it. Everything's going to be fine.
I don't think I can say the same for playing in Tassie.
Yeah, look.
There was no goals kicked.
remember like last time we were on this and we were like, we were just talking about Tassie, and it's like, you just got to let them have an AFL team, let them play those games at Launceston, whatever. Like, it's okay. I take everything I said back. There needs to be a roof on that stadium because I'm sorry, Tasmanian. I'm sorry to the AFL. Firstly, you were right. I'll give you that. You were right the whole time. They absolutely need a roof because we watched one of those rare Tassie night games, and it's understandable why it is rare. It was felt like 0 degrees for most of the game. I came out of my footy at about halftime of the game and I was like, how is this the score? You're
lucky to play footy that night.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad, to be honest, that I only watched a quarter and a half of this thing because it was gross. And
I ate more Monte Carlos in the first half than they kicked goals combined.
It was not good for footy.
It wasn't. And I don't understand why people come biting back at this. They simply didn't watch the game.
You needed to watch the game to understand. Exactly.
I've seen Tassie games that have been average, but they've been played in the day and it's windy and, it's raining or whatever the case. We saw a night game earlier in the year when the Hawks played the Giants, and it was somewhat more credible because of the wind and the rain. It's like, all right, well, no worries.
And it was in the warmer months, kind of, not in the middle of winter.
We're not sitting here in the middle of June and the Hawks have won by the equal amount of degrees it was on the night. And we're just thinking, how could this possibly get any worse?
Yeah, they played them there in spring, autumn. It was fine. It was all good.
Yeah. Backdate any Tassie game towards the end of the year or at the start of the year. Anything in between?
0-4 and 20-24. The only times you're allowed to play in Tassie at night.
Tassie don't get the roof and they don't get the stadium. I'm standing by my point. Cut off Launceston, cut off Hobart. I don't want to be seen down there ever again.
It's never going down there.
I prefer the Bunbury Optus deal.
At least the hands over look nice, you know. At least
It was aesthetically pleasing.
It was a beautiful looking ground. There was a good crowd there. At least everything looked okay, you know.
Tassie had a good crowd, but
Respect to them. It's fucking. That's ridiculous. How
cold. Well, they're adapted to the cold, aren't they? They're just. I think I saw a bloke wearing like Birks, and I was like, don't know if you can wear them in the snow.
But do it anyway. Yeah, no, it was not good. It was definitely not a game for the big bags, like you said. Definitely more a game for no one. Don't do it. Don't go near it. It was bad. But it was easily the worst game of the round in terms of scoring and skill wise and everything like that. But we also saw some fucking beltings. So like, you can at least, if you're those two teams, be like, at least we didn't get belted. You know, like, that's what you can come out of that with.
Oh, the Crows come out of that winners, in my opinion, because losing to Hawthorn and Tassie by 3 points is an absolute win.
That's fine.
And you survived the cold.
Yeah.
And you know you kicked 5 goals, 35 or whatever you did to lose it. But hey, it just leads me into, you talk about the thumpings, right? I've got some unwritten rules for you.
Yes.
So rule number 1, it leads into this. There should be no night games in Tassie.
None at all. Flat out.
You want the roof? I'll go build the roof. I don't care.
Yep.
Put sheets over the top. Don't care. Number 2. St Kilda should never open the rounds again. Right? They either belong in their lovely 4:10 time slot where I can sit there and watch them hungover, or give them a prime time Saturday night. Right?
Sure.
Unless it's Spud's game. They can have it out of the G on the Friday
Yep.
night.
Yep.
But that's still not opening it, so never again. Number 3. The Giants should host all their games either at the Gabba or GMHBA. That's the only way they're going to properly win anything. And it's very fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the last one. Never, ever, 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 ever leave North and Freo as the primetime only slot on a Saturday night. Okay, this game was good. It was okay. But do you want viewers? I've just thought of one before you. I don't like having a name for every single game. You know, we have those. We have the Anzac round. We have Easter Monday. We have, Dream Time. I don't want the country. I don't want the country because if Essendon are calling that game the country, then what are they showing?
If you're going to play the country game, play the game in fucking...
Play the game!
Play the game. Yeah, play the game. Play the game flat, Essendon. That's for you specifically. But for the both of you, play in the actual country where,
GMHBA.
Yeah, go to GMHBA. Go to fucking Windy Hill. Play at Windy Hill. It's fine. Essendon's close enough out there. Just... it's bad. And I absolutely agree with you. Not every game needs a name for it kind of thing. I think they should just call the country game Essendon gets smashed by Geelong at the MCG round every year, 2025.
Well, that opened the year on a Saturday Arva and the Cats kicked like 20 goals to none or something.
Geelong belt Essendon every single time. And it doesn't help that Essendon played 35 19-year-olds. And
Todd Goldstein.
Another one this week. And then Todd Goldstein. And they're bringing another one this week. Bloody Vigo. He's seen Dante going big for Port. And he's like, yeah, I'll have a go. I'll give it a crack.
Vigo's really good. Double V.
The double V. It's a nice name. Vigo.
Vigo.
It's a really appealing
That's
name.
real just...
yeah, that's that's
how you
so
doing?
much.
How you
so
doing?
much.
My name is Vigo. How about you go get the vino,
That is entering Massimo D'Ambrosio levels of fucking.
You wanna talk to me? Great name.
I have just realized how many really Italian names there are.
I know Massimo D'Ambrosio, Vigo Vincentini,
Marcus Bontempelli.
Bontempelli.
So Italian. So many Italian guys rolling around. Oh man.
I'd almost throw in Christian Petrarca as well.
Yeah. Liberatore as well. Like that's very.
Tony Liberatore.
Oh my god!
And they all rock up to Christian Petrarca's house, and he makes his
Literally.
famous lasagna.
It's the most Italian names, and I love Vigo Vicentini. That might be my favorite of the lot.
Where the
but
fuck's
no,
Zach Johnson?
he's doing good. He's done very well for my Supercoach team, and I really appreciate it.
He's just gone and I would like to spell it the same way Zach Butters, please. And I would like to play like him. And he kind of looks like him.
He's doing all right.
Oh my god, he kind of does.
He's doing all right.
Mm.
The man, he's doing okay. You said some unwritten rules. I have two. I don't have the 4 or 5. One related exactly to my stupid text is that every team that plays away needs to be wearing white shorts. That's just my.
Agreed.
That's just an unwritten rule. My second one, and it's very related to one of the ones that you said, except it is league wide. Thursday games at Marvel Stadium should never be allowed ever again. 1, because they don't get any crowd. 2, because they are bad 99% of the time. They are always so bad. And this was no exception. It was horrendously bad. And there's never anybody there. St Kilda is mainly to blame for the fact that there was nobody there on Thursday.
Mm.
But
20,000 is a good crowd, Jared.
No, it's not. it's horrendous. And that is my other unwritten rule. Yeah. Thursday games at Marvel Stadium, don't do it. If you're going to play a Thursday game, do it anywhere else. Do it somewhere where people will show up.
Let me run you through the Thursday night games we've had this year at Marvel. Started off in round 3. We had Essendon versus Port Adelaide.
One of the worst games of the year. That is to this day one of the worst games of the year.
Essendon versus North Melbourne in round 8. Then we had last week Hawthorn versus the Dogs.
Yep.
This week the Dogs versus St Kilda. It's very interesting to me that Essendon had 2 games and then the Dogs had 2 games, and it's like it's just
someone
like
else, another Marvel tenant might have the next 2. Probably not North. I doubt.
It's culminating the 2. It's North and the Dogs.
North and the Dogs.
Round 17. Oh no.
Grim.
The rest of the year we have
95.
North v Dogs, and the one in round 18 is the Blues versus the Lions. And then we go to Essendon versus the Giants. You want to talk about no crowd?
They're all bad. They're all so bad.
We'll go to round 21, the Dogs versus the Giants. Ooh.
That'll be okay, actually.
That might be okay. I think that might be okay. And then that's it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Thursday games at Marvel shouldn't be allowed. I don't like it.
I like that rule.
Yeah, I don't think it's fun. It's not a stadium built for Thursday night.
And you'd think that, it would be, considering, weather.
Yeah, I also think for some reason in my head, I would be more inclined to go to a Thursday game if it was the MCG, because it's the fact that I'm going to the MCG. It's like I'm going to the G tonight. Nobody brags to their co-workers being like, yeah, I'm going to Marvel tonight. no one cares. Put your big MCG games on a Thursday or an interstate one. Do the Gabba. They'll rock up.
Adelaide Oval.
Yeah. Adelaide Oval.
What's the game? What's the game next week? Oh. Well, it's in another state, which is good. It's Perth. It's Freo versus Essendon.
Does that mean it's like 8:10 or some shit?
Yeah. 8:10 for you, 7:40 for me, and
it's so bad. So bad. The AFL schedule this year is truly horrendous.
I love 2:50 on a Sunday.
When you said that before, I was like, fuck, that is an incredible time slot.
I love 2:50 on a Sunday. You've got enough time to sleep in.
Yeah. The only issue I have with this Sunday is usually there's a game before that I like to warm into, so that by the time that 3:20 or 2:50 game hits, I'm in prime time. I'm like, first game's done. Now I'm ready to fucking lock in, kind of thing. Whereas this time I just had to sit and wait for a while. And I didn't love it. So that's the only thing, is I like it when there's a game before. But that is one of my favorite time slots of the week. Absolutely.
And being commentated by Channel 7 just hits different on a Sunday. A bit more loose. We talk about Thursday night having a great crew.
BT gets a little bit loose on a Sunday. He gets a little bit crazy on a Sunday.
Oh, he was loving it. He loved the fact that Port Adelaide played circle work on the weekend.
It's fantastic. I'm really, but I never hated BT. Like a lot of people hated him. I never hated him, but he's growing even more on me now. Even more so these days. I'm like, fuck, you're good.
I just fantastic.
I like commentators that enjoy footy. That's what I like. I like ones that actually enjoy what they're doing and enjoy the game that they're watching.
Do you think Channel 7 have become a tad looser?
Yes, definitely. I think they're finding their point of difference in that Fox don't ever really do anything like that. And I think it's also the people they brought in. You know, like they already had BT, but you're bringing in Kane Corns, who is known for his antics kind of thing. You're bringing in these guys that add character. You've had Dale Thomas there for a couple of years now. He's obviously a lot of fun. JB's always there. They're bringing in guys that know how to have fun. And I think they're like, you know what, we'll do that. And we'll start to have a bit more fun. And it shows. Like, I really enjoy. I thought I was going to be a Fox all year kind of guy. And I watch, if there's a game on 7, I usually watch it on 7 now. Ads and all. Like, yeah.
What's your what do you reckon your structure is? So, like, I'll run it through the prime time, right? So we don't watch Saturdays too often. Well, you do, and you have to watch it on Fox because no free to air because free to air is dying. But I'll run you through the prime time, right? So Thursday night, Fox or 7?
That one's still a 7 for me, I think.
Friday night.
That's a 7.
So Thursday, Friday, 7. 7. Sunday.
Probably a 7 again, depending on...
So you're a 7 guy?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think at the start of the year, I probably rotated between the two. I think I was originally like a Thursday was like a Fox kind of job. Now I'm like, I think I'm just... If the game's on 7, I'm watching it on 7, I think. It's also like, KO, there's going to be a delay. You know, there's like there's little things about KO that pisses me off, like the buffering and stuff. So like I think I'm like, I know that if I turn on the TV and it's on Channel 7, I'm not going to get buffering. I'm not going to get that shit. I just get the game, and I get commentators that are going to be all right. So yeah, I think I'm definitely a 7 man when necessary. Sometimes I'll put it on Fox or whatever the case, but I think I'm a 7 man.
You've always been a 10 in my eyes. But you're right. I'm a 7.
Yeah.
And then I would go 7 on Thursday, Friday. No, Friday, so I'm on Fox because not really by choice, but I think I do enjoy the Hutto Jared combo. Yeah. And they've seemed to be a bit looser now as well. And Jason Dunstall and Gaz are really good together. Yeah. But the Sundays...
Friday might rotate. I might give Friday a go on Fox at times. But the other two would be 7, which I think, would be similar to you. And
then, the Sunday's always a 7. Sunday, 2:50 on 7. Or any of the primetime games as well, you know, the Easter Mondays, so forth, you know.
Yeah.
Good shit.
You know what else is on 7 and also all of them? Segue. The grand final.
We're just full of segues today. Yeah. And what's happening with the grand final?
Well, the grand final this year, as it has for as long as footy's existed,
and should forever be,
is during the day. I believe it's the 2:10 slot, if I've got that number correct. And they've decided against it. They've decided for it again. I think we're not too many years away from it going to a later time. I think we're very, very close to that, but they've decided not this time, which is good.
I think I'd almost, I reckon they'll base it on viewership.
Yeah.
Because they won't go to the polls like we have. Mm-hmm. And it's not an election, so I don't know why. But I think we're still a couple of years away. I don't think we'll go full nighttime because...
No, I think it'll be a twilight as well, definitely.
Well, the only reason they had high viewership in 2021 and 2020 was the fact that we were pretty much in lockdown. And the only way you could either watch it was, on TV or on TV. So, like, I've always been a day guy.
Yeah.
There's something about getting to your mates at 12. You'll start to warm up.
Yeah.
You just lock in about 1:30 with the pregame, aesthetics with whoever's performing or the national anthem and teams running out and the build-up's exciting. 2:00 kicks off and you've got 2 hours of footy. By the time you're done with the celebrations and everything, it's 5. Order some pizza. We kick into the night.
And then the night gets big.
Then you don't remember the fucking thing because you're done and dusted by 3 a.m. going,
big day.
I've just spent 15 hours on the grog. I don't even know one of Norm Smith.
That's why, like, I've always been a day guy as well. I don't think I would hate it if they went to a twilight, purely because
Yeah.
for me, this is my own opinion. I think I love the day so much, but that day's like Christmas to me. Like, I wake up and I'm like, fuck grand final day. I'm very
Yeah.
excited all the time. I think it ends too quick. You know, like the end of Christmas when everything's over and you kind of sitting there like, oh, that's another year of Christmas done. That kind of sucks. It went so quick. It's the same thing. The footy's over at like 5, and then I'm like, oh man, I just want to watch footy. I think if you moved it back just a little bit, you still get all the build up, and the build up's almost my favorite part because you're doing the sweeps and you're like having a few beers. You're like, fuck, I can't wait to see how this goes, kind of thing. I don't know what it is. I just really like the build up to the game, and then the game happens, and it's very exciting. So I think if you move it back just a little bit, you still get a little bit more of the lead up into it, and then you still get time afterwards to be like, right, 7 o'clock, let's fucking drink, and you just go to town for the rest of the day.
Could you make the grand final its own unique time? It's such a unique spectacle in every single way, but could you make it, we talk about the 3:40 time slot now on a Saturday. It never used to be that, but it's now 3:45. You're still done by 7:30, 8 o'clock by the entertainment and everything, and you can still head out. You could probably get away with it because it's only an hour and a half change.
Yeah.
So if you want to do the twilight,
that might be how they do it. They might just move it back in half an hour increments every couple of years until they eventually get it to the time that they wanted it for the first time.
We don't have it's only a unique spectacle anyway because it's 2 o'clock. We don't have a 2 o'clock game.
No, there's no 2 o'clock games anywhere. Yeah.
So maybe that 3:40 time slot we're seeing is the one. But the people have said otherwise.
Yes, we took it to the polls, as you said, and we asked what time it should be, and 58% of people said the day, which is fair enough. 27% said twilight, and 15% said night on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it these days. And that is fair enough. That is, I feel like it's a pretty normal sort of way to think about it, and that's how most people that I would speak to would say the same thing. They'd be like, I like the day, and then if it was going to get changed, they want it to be a twilight thing, and then if it was going to get changed, they wouldn't want it to be a nighttime. Obviously, like you said, we've experienced the nighttime before, which I didn't hate. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was as good as a day one, but I think it was still fun. And yeah, we've also put it on Instagram, and every single person said day. So
I think the only thing that was good about the nighttime grand final, the 2021 one in particular, was the D's beating the Dogs after the heartbreak they gave Port the week before. And then that same night heading out to Loverboy and seeing Ollie Wines, who was then the Brownlow medalist. And
it was a good day.
Couldn't believe my bloody eyes that night.
It was a fantastic day. One of those days.
Almost kicked on with Ollie.
That would have been fantastic.
We got the photo together, and we looked like the half the shapes of the play school windows. I've got the round one. He's got the square one.
He did the diamond and the arch.
Yeah. We looked hard enough, probably good. But yeah, so that's an interesting poll.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think we're eventually gonna get some different grand final times. I just think the AFL is waiting for the right time. I think, and I saw a tweet about this week, or after it got announced, is that if after all the shit the AFL has been through this year and all the mistakes they've made, all of the pressure they're under, and then they went added on top, by the way, we're pushing the grand final back, I think everything would have gone to shit. I think everything would have collapsed. So probably fair enough. They went, let's give them this. Let's
earlier announcement as well. It's a bit of an earlier one. They've gone, all right, be happy.
Got to give them this. Just take it, please.
Just shut up and take it, please.
I bet the entertainment's going to be someone that's pretty. This is why I think the Foo Fighters are going to get picked, because it's a band that the people like. They're not going to pick an actor that are like, oh, I don't know, it's oh, is Katy Perry going to resonate? Oh, Kiss is kind of old. Are they going to resonate? They're just going to be like, nah, straight down the middle. Foo Fighters, you'll do.
I'll go one better. I honestly, there's a part of me thinks that Pitbull's getting announced. Can you imagine that bald man just, yeah. Imagine the whole crowd, 100,000 people with a G with a bald cap.
They should give them out before the game.
Darling. Speaking of crowds are being dressed up. This week, the Cats announced that they're going to be giving every single person in the crowd white T-shirts, a whiteout.
Yeah.
Now, I went through and read some of the comments, Jared.
Fantastic idea, by the way. Just, I like the idea in theory. In execution,
this could be interesting. Are they going to have a High School Musical moment? One of the guys get up and goes, Bailey.
Yeah.
Right. But I went through and read some of the comments, and it's funny how some people react to things like this. This is something they're doing, initiative for their members. And I remember Port doing it 11 years ago at the Adelaide Oval, where everyone wore a teal T-shirt. They got their own Never Tear Us Apart teal T-shirt at the ground, and it was like the whole crowd dressed in teal, and it was phenomenal. It looked amazing. And I love this idea because I think, one, you're incorporating a special memorabilia that Cats fans will want. They can attend the game. It's a Friday night game against the Lions. It's a prelim final rematch of sorts. Well, number 2, they obviously lost to the Lions earlier in the year, but I think it's awesome. It brings the crowd involved, and we talk about how the Cats crowd can sometimes be a bit reserved.
Not as good,
Having a full stadium, one they've completed, there's no construction workers in sight. It's just them and the cattery. I think it's awesome. And people backlashing and saying, oh, why would you do that? Why would you waste so much money? Shut up. It doesn't involve you.
It's okay. Like they'll be okay.
Yeah. Until the membership prices go up next year.
Yeah, good luck everybody else. I agree. No, I really, really like it. Obviously, like you said, it was obviously borrowed off a college football thing in America. Penn State do it. They do their whiteout. But NBA teams have been doing it in the playoffs for years. Like they've always done it. Yeah, OKC have always done it. They wear the blue, and it looks amazing. And I like, if like the Saints made the finals, I would love it if it was like a everyone wore red kind of thing. Like that'd be fucking so cool. Because like even just sitting there and like the roar and like the rise of a crowd when a goal is kicked and you see this rise of red or white or whatever color, like teal, like you said, it's very special. And I think the players would love it. I am all for this from the Cats. Just don't know how the execution's going to go. Hopefully it goes okay. If it looks good, that'd be fantastic. And I think if it looks good, a lot of teams will follow and the Cats will keep doing it. If it looks bad though, that's unfortunate.
I think it's the only negative with it is the timing, because the middle of the year, everyone's going to be wearing their jackets. They're going to be, unless they got a hoodie and they're going to put one over the top. Yeah. It's like, that's the only thing I can see going wrong. I think it should
be a finals thing. And like that means you don't have to do it for every home game. You just do it for the finals home games that you're playing, kind of thing. And that means that's two at most. You play 2 home games in the finals at most. Maybe that's the way to go about it.
I like that because then it creates a hostile environment. It really makes your home game feel like a home game.
And it makes you want to go because you get one of those T-shirts. You're only going to get one if you go to the game. Like
imagine making a prelim. You get a free T-shirt. You go on to make the granny.
Yep. Great day. What a day out.
I feel so sorry for Essendon and Saints fans though, because they just won't be able to have it.
Yeah, I know. We got thumped.
And the Bombers haven't won a final in 20 years. Imagine that. You lose your final for the 21st year in a row. But hey, at least you went home with a T-shirt.
The Bombers. It's so funny to me. Like West Coast, North Richmond. Like you understand those teams. Like putting the cue in the rack and being like, the season's done. Like we'll stop. I've never seen Essendon willingly give up their season like they have in the last 3 weeks. like they weren't even bottom 4. They were like 12th. And they were like, fuck it, I don't care. 11 debutants.
Do you know what's funny? It's as soon as someone mentions, oh, the Bombers are in the 8. Goodbye.
It's just funny to me. It was like they purposely were like, oh, we don't actually want to be here. Like they were like, I don't actually care. It's fine. We'll just.
What's the record for most players played in a season by a club?
I don't know. It might be. I think it was West Coast in 21. Because remember they had
that's because they had 87.
Yeah, they had like a fuckload because they obviously brought in all their debutants and top ups and everything like that. So I think West Coast might have it, but Essendon giving them a shake. They're like, if we can't win a final, what we're gonna do is break the record for the amount of debutants.
I will know they're going for the record when I see the likes of Paul Chapman, Brent Prismore, and co walking back into the club.
James Gwilt in open arms. Come here, son. Jonathan Simpkin. Ryan Crowley. I'm not mad. I don't think we're allowed to mention Ryan Crowley. I'm pretty sure he's in jail. But like all these, who else played for them? Who else was the top up player? Matthew Stokes. Come here. Oh, it's fantastic.
Number 57.
Whoever you were, come on down. Fantastic. But at least I didn't have an excuse.
Carl Reimers, Legacy Game Part 2. We're back.
Carl Reimers, my guy. At least they have an excuse, though. St Kilda just played like shit. I saw a stat that in every team's last game, St Kilda was second only behind Collingwood for the most players above the age of 29. We lost by 72 points.
It's all about giving up during games. Half time, you're still a sniff.
We weren't playing that bad.
The most comfortable I've seen anything or anyone during a game like that is my mate at the pub calling sports bet at 3/4 time and putting $50 on 70-79 as a result.
Well played.
And win.
It's very well played.
Mm.
Good on them. we can't play the Dogs. I don't know what it is. Like Ross said it in his presser afterwards. He was like, I don't know how they do it. He was like, they have our number. I can't. We've lost to them by so many points in the last like 4 games. They beat us by 100 a couple of years ago. 72 this time. It was 50 something. There was 71 the first time we played them. 72 this time. Like, what the fuck is that about?
I think they really hated the fact that you posted the 2009 prelim.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was a mixture of it's a game against the Dogs and Rui got put in the Hall of Fame the day before. So,
yeah. I didn't really ask for the explanation. I just thought.
The Dogs did it worse. They posted a highlight from like fucking 63 or something.
Who?
The Dogs. They posted a game highlight from like 60 years ago.
Who has those archives?
Yeah, I don't know. It was very strange, but oh well, it's fine. We did it.
It's all right. Well, there's always next week, Jared, and we may as well do it.
Yep. We're tipping.
Put your tips in. Last week, well, very interesting times. I got 6 last week.
I was going to say, I got 6. Yeah, we did good last week.
We did.
There was a lot of... I'm looking.
I forgot there's only 7 games.
Yeah, we also... we did it the hard way because we tipped Port. We did it the hard way and we tipped ones that people didn't really expect. Because, we tipped
the Hawks.
Yeah. Oh, the Port one actually wasn't as... it wasn't anywhere near as less tipped than I thought. Like, a lot of people tipped Port in the end. I thought we were, pretty different in that regard. Yeah,
I know. That's very interesting.
There you go.
Very, very interesting indeed. But it was good to get the 6. Just bulks up the stats.
Yep.
I've moved into a very comfortable 24th position.
I'm sitting pretty at 15th, and we're really just hanging around is what we are. That's the best way.
I'm coming for you. My goal now is just to get you.
Jordy. Well, we have a guy who's now sitting in 17th and equal tips with me, who got 7 in Daniel C. Thunderstruck. He got 7, so good on him. He's flown his way up and was the. Oh no, we had another one who's currently in 37th and
Christian
38.
Cripper found the password.
37 and 38, both.
Sure
got 7.
He was logged out because he didn't tip last week. I don't think
he's back. There you go, and both 37 and 38 got 7.
Fantastic, love that. A lot of 6s.
Yeah, so many 6s.
A lot of 5s. But very well done, and look forward to seeing how we keep on rolling. Geordie's on top on 89. NATO still sitting in second. I reckon he's been second for the last 15 rounds, probably. But very nicely done. Now we move into round 15. And as I said before, we kick off round 15 at Optus at probably midnight. And it's Freo versus the Dons.
Freo are going to win this by 1,000,000 points.
Why are we playing this game?
And by 1,000,000, I mean I'm going to
14.
28.
Oh, that's a big margin for you.
Bombers have a bunch of 18-year-olds running around, and it's at Optus. Freo's going to win by a lot.
They do play well at Optus, Essendon, actually. I've noticed
Yeah,
over the
they do.
years.
They do. Although they only lost to West Coast there early in the year. So
Yeah, well, that's true. Tipping Freo by 21.
Yep.
The Cats and Lions, game of the round.
Good game. Very, very good game. Lions need to answer. If they are anything.
We've seen this before.
Yes, we have.
The Hawks game.
Yep. Lions need to respond in a big way.
I feel like the Cats don't play as well at home as they do at the way at the moment.
Yeah, it seems that way for a lot of teams at the minute, which is just bizarre. The Lions are the exact same. They aren't very good at the Gabba. They seem to lose at the Gabba a lot now and win elsewhere. So this is a very interesting game.
Almost.
Yeah, I'm very close to thinking about it. I also think it'd be funny that like the Cats go all out for this game, like do the full whiteout thing, and then they lose. Like I can kind of see it happening in my brain.
I'm tipping the Lions.
Yeah, so am I.
I don't think. I just there's something. You come off an easy game against Essendon, and it's just the Lions will respond. That's my tip.
Fair enough.
Carlton North, Saturday, 12:50. This could not be any later in the day. They should play this earlier, like really early, like before anyone wakes up.
7 a.m.
This should just be played. This is like the D grade on a Saturday morning, right? Just get them out the way. That's it.
Yep, I agree. Unfortunately, it has to exist. And it's at the G too. This is the most Marvel game ever. Why are they playing it at the MCG?
Because it's the only MCG game of the round.
And the only MCG game that North's going to have.
And it's at 12:50 on a Saturday.
Hopefully it's a good Saturday. Carlton's going to win, but North might be close.
Blues intrigue me because the next couple of weeks are winnable.
They need to win games. They definitely
they've got the North this week and then Port.
Yep.
Interesting times for the Blues, but I am also tipping them as well. Adelaide Oval, twilight. Port Adelaide versus the Swans. I'm very comfortable as a Port fan at the moment.
I tell you what, ever since I ridiculed them for letting me down, they've come back.
Now, this is the thing for me. Port Adelaide, whilst they lost to the Swans in the prelim last year, Swans at the Adelaide Oval against Port have been not good. Now, they're coming off a bye after beating the Tigers at the G, which we watched. And the Swans have the tendency this year to be like, all right, let's play a good game.
They're very on and off. Yeah.
Port Adelaide looked different after the bye.
Jason horne-francis looks different after the bye.
Yeah, he's injured.
He's good now, but he was injured.
Yeah, he injured his shoulder on the weekend too.
Carrying the boys.
Yeah. Him and Mitch Georgiades and a Sava.
Oh, yes.
Swans don't have a forward line.
They never have.
Against a Sava, very hard to tip against Port.
Yeah, I'm tipping Port.
Be a good game, though.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think Sydney, as I are. I think Sydney are better than people give them credit for, and better than what their ladder position suggests. But like you said, I think Port has turned a bit of a corner and actually showing a bit of fight this side of the bye. So I'm going to tip Port as well.
3 home games in a row for Port Adelaide as well, going into after that one a win against the Giants. So don't have to travel. Got the Blues next week as well. All of a sudden, the eyebrows start to raise.
You never know. You never know.
We are the June experts, apparently. Saturday night, Marvel, Pies, Saints. I honestly think no one will turn up to this game.
No, I think the crowd
other than Pies.
Yeah, I think the crowd would be because Collingwood fans will pack out the entire place. Hilarious that this is the Marvel game. Like, so funny. When you could play this at the G, but instead you're doing the other one. They've got it round the wrong way, is what they've done. But it's very, very funny regardless. Collingwood will win. They don't love playing at Marvel, Collingwood, but they're going to win.
This will be such a Ross game.
Someone today walked past me in the office and said, "We're just going to fucking win, aren't we?" And I went, "Yeah, probably." Like, we're probably going to win. It'll be 60-56, but we'll probably get the job done.
You people are delusional down there. You're probably going to lose by 56 in a respectable.
No, because it's just the most St Kilda thing ever to be embarrassed and then come out the week after.
Hey, you know what? The Pies after a bye.
You know, we got thumped by Adelaide in round 1. We came and beat the Cats next week. Yeah, it just happens. It just happens.
Pies to win.
Yeah, Pies to win.
Any danger of you tipping differently than me, bro? Far out, man. Giants, Suns, Angie.
Are the Giants back?
I don't know with these people.
I don't think so. Even though I made the video that they are back, they're not. I don't think. I think
this is a must-win game for the Suns.
I mean, I think they're going to be okay regardless. But if I was a betting man, if I could bet, Suns at 214 to win. The fact they're not favourites in this is pretty crazy to me. I get that it's at NG. I understand that. The Suns are very good. And the Giants aren't proven fully, I don't think. So I am going to go with the Gold Coast Suns.
Suns have lost their last 2. They are a bit out of touch. Lost to the Dockers at home, and they lost to the Cats away.
But they're 2 pretty good sides. 2 very informed sides. And I think they're both a step above the Giants.
They play the D's, the Dons, and the Pies after this, and then the Crows. So the next month is
pretty tough.
Pretty tough. I'm going to tip the Giants at home.
There you go. We'll tip differently.
I do believe they're back.
Yeah.
Until I'm proven wrong.
Fair enough.
Last game, Dogs, Tigers. Dogs.
That one, right? Lock.
We haven't done a lock in a while, actually. Put the ice cream on the cone. Right, well, that's our tips for round 15. Now, I'll scroll back to the top because it's time to roll through
the crowd aesthetics.
Right. Freo Dons, yes.
Yeah, purple and red.
Yes.
Don't mind it.
Yes. Optus Stadium seats do not allow colours to stand out as well.
True.
But it looks good. Cats, Lions. Well, this should be aesthetically pleasing because
only because of the light. Yeah, only because of the light.
Can't wait to see 35,000 whites, and there's this little patch in the corner. All little Lions fans in them,
tiny
maroon and navy blue. All the little tidy whities.
I like it.
The G will be empty, but yes, sure.
Probably not. I mean, I guess it's different blues, but like,
even the white stands out.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, North are pretty white based. That's fair.
Port Swans, yes.
You know what would make this really appealing? Like, and I still think to this day it's the best jumper clashes we've had during the year is when the Port wore their lightning rod, wore their real tier 1, and we wore our Red Crusader, and it just looked fucking mint. I wish they could do it again for this because it would look amazing. I know they're not going to, but that would look amazing on the field. But even in terms of the crowd, yeah, still big. Teal and red, fantastic. Always goes very well.
Yeah. Well, if we want a lightning bolt, we'd have to bring out Jared Poulton again, wouldn't we?
Off you go. Pick your snack.
First goal of the game. Yeah, good man.
Yep.
Pies, Saints, yes. The red stands out.
Yeah, but there's going to be none of us there.
Giants, Suns, speaking of no one being there.
This one will look okay. This one will look not that bad.
I hope it rains on Sunday at NG. And lastly, Dogs, Tigers. Yes, I love it. It will look good at Marvel as well. Funny enough, this game's at 2:50. We have no Twilight game on Sunday night.
No Twilight game? They've just decided they're like, you can have your Sunday nights back, everybody. You do what you need.
Well, after the crucifixion we got last weekend. Welcome back, Sunday nights. That's it. It's round 15. It's episode 85. And have you got anything to add?
I don't think so. I think everyone should continue having fun with football. And everyone should have some good times because sometimes at this time of the year, and we've spoken about it before, sometimes at this time of the year, it's really hard to enjoy football because it's really cold and no one likes to go to games, and some of the players are playing like shit, and some of the teams have given up. However, I think you should just stick it out because sometimes you see performances like the Salva Radagalies on the weekend, and it makes you go, "Yeah, you know what? I like football."
And you're a big Asala fan.
I have always been the biggest Asava fan, and anybody that knows me knows that. And on the weekend, when he was fucking charging towards that intercept mark record, I was like, "Do it for me, Asava! I believe in you."
I almost thought, I think at one stage, Port Adelaide got one of their bench signs that just had Asava's hands printed on it.
Take the mark, Asava.
Asava. A savior. A savior, because he saved us.
But that's all I got. What do you got?
Not much. It's been good. It's been fun. It's good to be back with you. And yeah, that's all I've got, really.
Fair enough.
I just looked really, really fucking good in the long sleeve on the weekend for Sposs, but that's okay. See you next week.